Hello there everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. I'm just about to hop into bed so we can continue on here. We have a tutorial first thing in the morning, so I wanted to be sure that we'd be awake for that. And we're getting a visit from Mirabelle this morning. There's something I really need to show you. Do you have a minute? Well, I mean, you basically woke me up coming out of bed, so I don't really have much of a choice. You look so surprised! 2 horses. I talked to one of my suppliers about you, Nick. I brought over some horses she wanted you to have a look at. They've both been trained and they're both really nice. I recommend either one. What do you think? Would you like to have one of these horses? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure it will be happy here. Which one do you want? They're both so beautiful, aren't they? I picked the white horse when I played last time, so I'm gonna pick the brown horse. The color doesn't matter. It's not like one color has any sort of advantage over the other. It's purely a cosmetic choice on your part, but once you pick a color, you're not able to ever change your mind, so just be sure that you are picking what you want right from the get-go. Good choice. What are you gonna call your new horse? Well, I'm a basic chick, and I always name my horse the same thing, although I called it something completely different on my other file, and I can't remember what it was, but we're just gonna go with the run-of-the-mill Epona that I've used, I think, in every single Harvest Moon playthrough I've ever done for this channel. It makes more sense for us to pick the brown horse. It kind of goes with the theme. So Mirabelle will send the other horse away, and she can give us a little bit of an explanation about taking care of pets. We are going to get more pets in the future, not just the horse, so I think I'll actually let her do the explaining. Because she probably knows better than I how to just explain this in a quick and easy fashion. So you have to feed your pets every day, obviously. This is the feed dispenser. It's where you store the pet food to feed your pets. So you get pet food from here and place it in a feeder like this one here. Each pet you have eats 1 piece of food each day. If you don't feed your pets, you won't be able to build your friendship with them. Hold small pets like dogs to build your friendship with them. For bigger pets like horses, talk to them and brush them to build your friendship. And the horse is actually the only pet that you can brush. A hand icon will appear over your pet's head when it wants to be petted. Pets will be especially happy if you pet them then, and you'll get a bit of a bonus to their affection as well, which is nice. You can also enter your pets into contests. Check your calendar to see when they are. I'll be judging, so I hope you'll participate. Come into the stable when you want to practice for a competition. Practicing will also build friendship with your pet. You'll need to practice a lot if you want to win. I have high hopes for you and your new pet. See you later. Alrighty, so the horse is unlocked after you've befriended Mirabelle a little bit, and I don't think you actually need too much friendship. We can actually probably look on our list here and see exactly how many hearts she has. She only has 1 heart, so if you're just giving her gifts, trying to get her sunstone out of her, then I think you'll probably be able to get the horse naturally without even really thinking about it, which is pretty nice. So the stable is the building right over on the left on the top row. So you can just interact with your pet to speak with it. I don't have a brush, so I can't brush it, unfortunately. And then we've been buying pet food from Mirabelle already. We've actually been using it as gifts. They're $10 each, so it's not like it's really expensive to feed your pets. And the nice thing about pets is that they never die. So if you really don't care about your pets all that much, or you're broke and you can't afford it, then you do not need to actually feed them. Your pets never die, they never get sick. Unlike your animals, like your chickens and your cows and your sheep, that's a completely different story. So now that we have this horse, we have it for life. And unfortunately in this game, you can't actually ride your horse. So the only thing that your horse is really good for is getting a sunstone out of it. You get 1 sunstone for befriending it, which is nice. And then there's also a horse festival that we can take part in. But I don't actually think that I'm able to do the competition because the horse festival requires you to use the mic function that the DS had at one point. And I don't know if the emulator does that at all. I haven't actually looked into it yet, so we may not be able to actually take part in the horse festival, but luckily that doesn't lock us out from completing the game 100%, which is nice. All we need to do is just feed our horse and pay attention to it, and we'll be able to get the sunstone from it for giving it some affection. So if I pull out the map, you can see that there is a big archway with some balloons over on Meadow Island, which is just to signify that there is a festival. So on festival days, every single building is closed. So you can't get into houses, you can't get into shops, nothing. The whole island pretty much just closes because everyone, I guess, is excited and wants to head over to the festival. But once the festival is over, you can go into houses and businesses. So usually on festival days, I'll just take my time getting there. Most festivals start at 10 and end at 6, but as soon as you go over to Meadow Island to begin the festival, you're gonna lose all that time in a day. So for example, if I were to go over right now at 11:30, by the time the festival was finished, the game would automatically put the clock forward to 6 o'clock, and I would lose all those daylight hours. So I try to make sure that I've done all of my chores before I go to a festival. I'm gonna go ahead and eat a couple things here because I'm getting hungry and I can't go and eat anything, which is unfortunate. But the unfortunate thing about festivals too is that we're not able to speak to Taro, which means that we're not able to get our weather prediction until after the festival. So if you do choose to water all your stuff before the festival ends, you just want to make sure that you understand that you're taking the risk that you might be overwatering your crops. But I really don't have a lot to do. I do have a couple of things to water. So I guess I can do a little bit of watering. Because we're starting out and it's so early in the game, even overwatering them a little bit shouldn't be too big of a deal. As long as we're not getting water for like days and days and days. These two piles of crops on the left-hand side, I actually didn't water all yesterday, so I can give them some water, not be too worried about it. And it's 3 o'clock, so I better get there before the festival ends. If the clock hits 6 o'clock, the festival automatically ends, so if you never made it to the festival or you don't have an interest in going, then you also have the option just to wait it out until the festival ends naturally and everyone, you know, comes back. And if you're at a festival that's competitive, for example, the sheep festival is competitive. If we had a sheep, we would be able to enter it. But winning the sheep festival depends solely on your animal's heart level. So making a save before you come to the festival isn't that big of a deal. As you can see, once I'm on the island, I'm not actually able to save my game at all. But if this was the cat, the dog, or the horse festival, I would recommend making a save before you get on the boat to come to the festival, because winning those festivals depends on how well you play the mini games. And so you might be able to save and reload and then retry if you've lost. So different villagers will also attend different festivals. Taro is probably the only villager who's at almost every single festival. Mirabelle is at every single animal festival. She judges all of them. I find that Lana and Denny are also at quite a few festivals as well, but the mix of villagers that attend just really depend on who it is that you have unlocked. We may have had more people here if we had more villagers. And you can speak to them here at the festival, because that does count as talking to them for the day as well. So we don't have any sheep, so we might as well just get the festival started. So normally what Mirabelle would do if you were competing is she would introduce every single contestant, but she didn't do that here because we weren't actually in the festival. What she did was she just basically fast forwarded to the winner, which is kind of nice. It's like a shortened version of the event. And then once it's over and done with, you could speak to the villagers again if you really want to. Most of them will have different dialogue for the beginning and for after the festival is over and done with. And that changes depending on if you entered your animal or not, or if you participated in the festival. And they'll also have unique dialogue for if you won and if you lost. So on and so forth. Once a festival is finished, you're automatically brought back to your house, and as you can see, it's 6 o'clock, as I mentioned. There are a couple of festivals that don't follow this rule. There's a couple of late night festivals. Most of them are romantic, but we also have the New Year's Eve festival as well. So there's going to be a lot of festivals that we're not going to be able to attend in our first year, of course, or participate in just because we don't have the means to do so. So you can see now on our map, the banner is still up for the festival, but because it's over, now we have the option to speak to everybody. We're allowed to go into every single house and do our regular round of gift giving and speaking to people and such. On festival days, everybody will be in their house, which is actually a really nice thing because you don't have to track people down. Whether the villagers attended the festival or not, they will always, after the festival, be in their house, wherever it is that they live. So this actually makes it incredibly easy to go around and give people gifts. And it has been a couple of days since I've played, so I know we got some sunstones from a couple of people. But I'm still gonna keep giving gifts out to those people that I know I have gifts for. And talking to people too, just so that I can keep increasing their friendship. I should also probably stop by Mirabelle's and purchase some pet food for my horse. So let's just go ahead and buy 10 days worth. And we can actually get her to send it right to our feed dispenser on our farm, which is nice. I don't have to keep taking it out of my rucksack and giving it to her, the horse, by hand, which is nice. And unfortunately in this game, you can't actually hand feed your animals at all. There's only one pet that we have that we can hand feed. So you're not able to get additional friendship with your animals by hand feeding them like you can in some other Harvest Moon games. That's where that's an option. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my rounds here and speak to anybody that I didn't talk to at the festival. And then I will go home, probably. I might actually drop in at the cafe and eat myself a sandwich. I spoke to Lana and Danny already, so I'm gonna skip their houses. I don't really have gifts for them anyways. I have to find something better to give to Lana, because I think the flowers, like I had mentioned, are sort of more of a neutral gift, and I'm not gonna get her gift Sunstone that way. Even the sub-villagers will be inside their houses. So if you've got certain sub-villagers that are difficult to find, then they will also be in their houses. I've been giving Eliza flowers. I guess I can give her a flower while I'm here. Come on, select it. There we go. Thank you. And Ganon, I have a ton of material stone that I can't store currently, so I might as well give it to him. And I think that is pretty much it. That's all the villagers spoken to. I went and fed myself. Taro says it's going to be cloudy tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about there being too much rain. And we got to attend our first festival. Our horse is fed, which is really nice. I already went ahead and watered. I'm pretty much ready for bed. I can probably think about planting some more turnips here soon. Rearrange my inventory a little bit. Probably ship these to Seaweed that I have. Make myself a little bit of money. And otherwise, we're done. So a little more action than I was anticipating. I actually didn't think we were going to get that horse, but it's really cool that we did. We have the horse festival actually coming up on the 24th, so we could take part in it. We definitely wouldn't win because our horse doesn't have a lot of friendship. But like I said, I'm not even sure that I'm able to participate in this festival at all, just given the nature of how the minigame works with the mic function. So that's it for me. I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to play for as long as I can until something interesting happens, and then we will come back and we'll do a little check-in. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.